What is stopping you from improving yourself? You're paying too much attention to everything around you, not enough attention to yourself. But the quality of your life is essentially determined by how you carry this one moment. What kind of clothes you're wearing? What kind of car did you park outside? What kind of home you live in does not determine the quality of your life at this moment. How joyful are you feeling within yourself determines the quality of your life, isn't it? So nothing has been done about it. You think it'll happen in consequence, and you're setting impossible goals for your happiness. If I have to be happy, my wife should be like this. My children should be like this. The world should become some way. Well, these are impossible conditions you're setting for your happiness and peacefulness. Now that you have compromised yourself for peace. Why? I'm saying compromised yourself to attain peace because a lot of people have given up aspirations of being ecstatic or blissful. If I'm just peaceful, it's enough. Even the so-called spiritual leaders are going about saying peace is the highest goal in your life. Peace is not the highest goal in yours. If you want to enjoy your lunch today, you must be peaceful. If you're not even peaceful, there is nothing in your life that you can do in a worthwhile way. To be peaceful essentially means that you are not messing your mind. To be peaceful means that your system is at ease. You know how to conduct your mind. You know how to conduct your emotions, your body, and your energies. You are peaceful. It is not rocket technology. It is the most basic thing. You have a dog at home. You give him his food, and he sits peacefully, maybe not ecstatic, but peacefully many times. See, it has nothing to do with the external activity that you're doing. It's got something to do with the internal systems as to how they're functioning. Essentially, it means that neither your body nor your mind, your chemistry nor your emotions, nor your energy is taking instructions from you. They're doing their own. Once your machine is not in your control, being peaceful is impossible. I'll tell you, you get into your car and now you go there and you want to turn this way, you steer to the right, but it goes the other way. Can you peacefully drive this car? No. Anxiety is natural, isn't it? This is what has happened to your vehicle. It's out of control. You've never done anything to find. Now, the problem is most people have not even bothered to find the solution. They think if they do something, somehow it'll work. When you're given such a highly sophisticated machine, if you do not conduct it properly, it'll cause many problems by accident. I'm saying everything that you do. Fundamental changes are happening in this machine because it's such a sophisticated machine. When you have such a sensitive and sophisticated machine and you are operating like a blacksmith, then being peaceful seems to be difficult. Peace is not the highest goal in your life. It is the most fundamental requirement. Don't ever set peace as the highest goal. If you do that, you'll only rest in peace. You must see, to be peaceful is the first thing in your life. Yes, if you want to do anything sensibly in your life, if you want to conduct any situation in your life sensibly, to be peaceful and happy is fundamental. Such a fundamental thing is rising to the heavens these days. People think they're going to be peaceful somewhere else, not here, because they have never paid attention to this moment. Never paid attention to the internal mechanism of how a human being functions. What is the basis of everything that's happening within you? Well-being will come only when this is engineered the way you want it. Try to remain peaceful even at disturbing times. You will notice the difference once you have experienced well-being. What's next will be your question. How can you reach the peak of your abilities in another talk? When we use the word peak naturally, we want to go mountain climbing. That means you want to do something others cannot do. Not necessarily, because the peak is not in what you're doing outside. The peak is in the way you experience it. Somebody can do something very small with very profound experience. Somebody can be doing big things without any sensitivity to what's happening around them. So essentially what you're looking for is just to look at this as yourself as a life right now. You become so many social entities. You may be lost in that, but actually you are alive. Most people realize they're alive only when they're threatened with death. Till then there's something else. They become so many other things. No matter what work you're doing here, you are just a piece of life, isn't it? It is a fortune that certain things happen through us, which will impact many other lives. Wonderful. But still, this is life only. If this life functions in its best possible way, everything else will happen. The only thing that is left here is the profoundness of your experience, isn't it? How profound is your experience to make our life profound? Somebody says, if you have an education, you can do this. Well, everybody went to the university. Somebody said, if you have money, you can do it. Everybody ran after it. Somebody said, if you can get married, it'll happen. Everybody got. Somebody said, if you have children, then it'll happen. Everybody did that. Somebody said, this is not it. You must get power in the world. So people ran after that. Essentially, what should happen inside you are trying to cause from outside. What should actually happen within you? You are trying to cause it from outside. Yes, it is possible. Sometimes it can be stimulated from outside, but it has to happen within you. All human experience comes from within you. Is that so? Your joy and misery, pain and pleasure, agony and ecstasy can only happen from within you. The question is only your joy, your peace, your love, your ecstasy. Is it on push start or is it on self start? I'm talking about operating tech. There was a time in the 1950s, if you bought a car, you needed two people to help you in the morning because it was a push start. If you got one in the early 60s, it's a crank start. You need one person to help. Today, all our cars are self-start, right? The technological upgrades are most vital. The profoundness of your experience, the pleasantness of your experience here. But right now it's all in push start. If you have to be happy with how many people we have to fix in this world, if you have to be peaceful, we have to fix the entire world. So there is an endless amount of conditions for your experience to be in a certain way, and in pursuit of human well-being. We've turned the world upside down. We ripped the planet apart, but still, we are not the most joyful generation. We are definitely the most comfortable generation ever. Never before another generation of people have enjoyed this kind of conveniences and comforts as you and I are enjoying right now, isn't it? So never before, but can we say with all these comforts, we are the most joyful generation? I'm not saying we are more miserable, but definitely we are not the most joyful. Are we peaceful? No. Are we loving? No. So our experience of life is still like how the caveman's experience was, the same anxiety. That caveman was worried, where's my food? You are also worried, where is my next apartment? The idea of organizing our survival process, the way we have organized this, we need not be concerned about basic things. You open the tap, water comes, don't think it's a small thing. Just 100 years ago, water means you had to go to the river with a pot on your head. So today, all this convenience that we did, because we don't have to concern ourselves with daily survival. Everything is organized now. We believed if all these things are organized, we will sit here and be blissed out. So the peak of human life does not mean you climbed Mount Everest. Climbing Everest is not a simple physical challenge. The peak can only happen within you. It'll not happen outside of you. So if the peak and the valley and the very bottom can only happen within you, people can sit in a palace and be depressed like they're at the pit of their life. So similarly, if that is possible, you can sit on the street and be on the peak. There are more things, more precious than material wealth. It's time to realize and transform yourself. Keep only what is needed and live life to the best of your abilities.